When humans first became conscious, when we truly started thinking, there was one clear difference between humans and animals. Animals live by instinct. Humans think. Humans question good and bad, right and wrong. So naturally, humans asked questions. Why are we here? What is our purpose? Why do we exist at all? The answers to these questions are what we now call religion. And to say that religions are false, or that religion did not come from God, one simple argument is enough. If religion truly came directly from God, then God would not create humans into different religions by birth, and then judge them based on something they never chose. It makes no sense to be born into a religion without choice and then be punished or rewarded for it. Now, like I said, humans had many questions, and humans created answers. Those answers eventually became religions. The people who created those answers used the limits of their own understanding. And over time, those people became figures like Jesus, Muhammad, and others. That's it. The original purpose of religion was to help humans understand their existence. My belief is this: as long as humans are given some answer, even a fake one, to why they exist, they remain comfortable. Because comfort comes from certainty. But the moment a human truly accepts that religions might be fake, the moment they accept that none of this might be real, then an extreme wave of questions hits the mind. If religion is false, then how are we born? Why are we born? What is the purpose of our existence? Why do we behave the way we do? Where do we go after death? Why are we killing each other in the name of religion? Why is any of this happening? In my opinion, as long as a human remains religious, they live inside a comfort zone. Their mind is relaxed. They're not constantly stressed because they already have answers: why we are here, what our purpose is, where we go after death. But the moment a human truly accepts that religion is bullshit, that none of it is real, then their mind gets addicted to questions. Question after question after question. From my own experience, that's the point where you can't sleep at night. Your brain never shuts up. You keep questioning the universe again and again. All the knowledge humans have about God, everything we say, imagine, or describe about God, comes from religion. Every concept of God we know today comes from religious teachings. Now, if religion itself is fake, as I've already explained, then that means the structure of God, the thinking of God, and the purpose of God that religion teaches us, all of that is wrong. Let me be very clear about something. I am not saying become an atheist and reject God. I am not saying God does not exist. In fact, when we look at reality, our mind naturally tells us that everything that exists must have a creator. According to the laws of the universe, existence without a creator doesn't even make sense. So yes, God exists. God should exist. What I am saying is this: the God that exists never asked for the things religions claim he asked for. God never said, "Pray to me 5 times a day or I won't be pleased. Stay hungry for an entire month so I'll be happy. I created men and women unequal. Men are free, women must stay limited. Kill animals in my name and that will please me." God never said these things. God never said to burn women alive in the name of religion. God never said to kill or torture people to prove faith. These were human actions, justified by religion, not commands from God. What we have done is something very dangerous. We have turned God into something evil. We say things like, God doesn't care when children die. God doesn't care about injustice. God doesn't care about rape, violence, suffering. And then, after saying all this, we conclude, if God exists, why does he allow this? So God must not exist. I disagree. God may exist and must exist, but God did not create religious laws, punishments, or systems the way humans describe them. Let me explain this in very simple terms. Imagine a human creates a robot. That robot is programmed, then released. The robot is free to act according to its programming. The creator doesn't control every action. The Creator doesn't interfere every second. The system runs on its own. Similarly, we don't truly know why we exist, why God created us, what happens after death, or whether there is any final judgment at all. So what did humans do? To comfort themselves, to calm their minds, to escape the fear of the unknown, humans created answers, and those answers became religion. That is the only reason why we love religion so much, because religion keeps us in a comfort zone. It tells us, this is why you exist. This is what happens after death. Don't question too much. And we accept it, because comfort is easier than uncertainty. So ultimately, this is my position. I believe in God, but I do not believe in religions. Call it deism, call it whatever you want. Now let's try to understand this from another angle. Humans live in societies, and if you think about it for a moment, you'll realize something interesting. Why do concepts like rich and poor exist among humans? Because humans are taught rules. From the beginning, we are taught that if you want something, you have to work for it. You can't just kill another person and take what they have. But animals don't live like this. In the animal world, there is no concept of morality. If an animal has enough power, physical power, it will attack, kill, and take whatever it wants. No guilt, no rules. Humans were basically animals too. But that kind of behavior doesn't allow societies to form. It doesn't allow civilization to grow. So humans needed something to control behavior. They needed morality. And this is where religion came in. Religion was created to build morality, to say, if you do wrong, you will be punished. Not just here, but after death. If you harm someone, there is hell. If you commit injustice, there is fire waiting for you. These ideas weren't random. They were necessary to make people behave in a society. To build morality, humans had to create religion. And to make religion powerful, they added divine authority and rewards after death. Now think about a poor person, or a middle-class person, someone who doesn't have money, power, or education. For that person, religion becomes the biggest hope in life. It doesn't matter whether they have a bank balance or a big house. What matters to them is this belief. If I suffer here, I'll be rewarded after death. And because of that belief, they live their entire life silently. They don't question injustice. They don't question power. They don't question authority. Now imagine this clearly. If religion did not exist, morality would not exist in the way it does today. We could do whatever we wanted. We could harm anyone. There would be no fear. Religion is, at its core, a system of rules. In Islam, for example, the Quran repeatedly says that a person who believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment will not commit sins, will not betray others, will not harm people. Many Muslims say Islam is not just a religion, it's a complete system, an economic system, a political system, a social system, and I agree. All of this exists in Islam. But my perspective is this. These systems were created to give society rules. The biggest mistake humanity made was merging politics with religion, merging social rules with divine authority. When Islam was in power, people didn't stop themselves from committing crimes because of law enforcement. They stopped because they believed God would be angry with them. Fear of God replaced accountability to humans. Religion turned social rules into religious rules. And to follow those rules, you had to believe in that religion and its God. At that time, there were no modern governments, no constitutions, no legal systems. Religion was the government. Religion was the law. That's why people today say Islam has a complete structure. Yes, it does. But that structure was human-made, designed to control crime and maintain order. The same applies to other religions as well. They all teach morality through fear, reward, and divine punishment. In my opinion, religion should be separate from politics, because when rules are backed by divine power, dangerous side effects appear. You can't question the government, because questioning power becomes questioning religion. You can't hold elites accountable, because accountability disappears. And this is where things break. Now, I know I spoke a lot in this video. I know many things were said in a rush. I know everything may not be perfectly clear. This is my first video. I'm not perfect at explaining things, but I want to end with this. Religion didn't create morality. Humans created religion to control morality. And remember this: the most dangerous thing is not questioning God. The most dangerous thing is never questioning religion. That's it.